Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Rohan. Welcome to What's Your Perspective and another special episode of it. In this episode, we brought to some amazing people, friends, co-workers. We've had the opportunity to sit together, jam, talk, discuss, and people that inspire me because of the work they do. This is going to be an interesting episode because the idea here is I'm going to throw questions at them, they being the expert at what they do, and they're going to share their own perspectives. And I want you to observe patterns between all three of us and how we think about certain aspects of life. We will discuss about life, marketing, business, money, dating today, and a lot of some crazy unorthodox stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to give the mic over to Arunav. Arunav, please go ahead and introduce yourself for the audience.
So I'm the founder of the Bro Thing. Thank you for having me over here, man. First of all, so I'm the founder of the Bro Thing. We have been in this dating niche, helping men with the dating lives since the past 8 years now, and we've helped thousands of people. Even globally, we have helped people, Indians staying outside, and we generally teach them about how to get better with their personality skills, communication skills, and how to get better with their mindset with women.
Dude, like this one niche inspires me. I've told you a few times before as well. The first time we met and we had a talk, and I had no clue that this is going on in India. So especially for all of you who are single, or you're single and ready to mingle maybe, and you're not able to, then you know who to contact, right? All right, awesome. Over to you, Romit.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for having me, bro. So I'm Romit Jetwani. I'm a chartered accountant turned founder of the High Ticket Society. We basically help high quality coaches attract, inspire, and convert premium clients without doing high pressure sales webinars or low ticket workshops, without done for you services. And that's pretty much it.
That's a nice elevator pitch there.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, so we've had opportunity of talking to each other, and we kind of, all three of us, we know what we do and what we specialize in. So whoever is listening to this podcast, as I said before, make sure that you like, you subscribe, you share, you comment, you tag your friends or whoever you think can benefit out of this podcast. So let's get started. So I'm going to throw the first question at Arunav here. And I had no idea before I even asked this question. So I have these series of questions. I had no idea that there will be a point in time in my life that I'm going to ask this question from someone. I had no idea. Like today, this question itself is making me feel a little, weird. So, but I still will ask the question. So and I would also want Romit, your perspective as well on this later on. Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
the fun part.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the top 3 dating mistakes men commonly make, and how can they avoid them?
I think a lot of it comes down to believing in the wrong things because of how the society sort of conditions us, especially the Bollywood, like how we're growing up and just thinking about dating in the wrong sense. A lot of it comes down to social conditioning, how your upbringing affects you. Because you'll see okay, I think I'm giving a deeper answer rather than top 3 mistakes. So in terms of top 3 mistakes, first is the opportunity, right? They don't create enough opportunity for themselves, which means not approaching or maybe not using online dating applications, which now dating is pretty convenient. Second thing is just thinking about dating in the wrong perspective, with the wrong perspective. Our Indian culture sort of has a path, right, for us. Get a good job, go to schools, get good grades, get into a marriage, right? Where your parents select your partner or something. So it's a very comfortable path. So a lot of men try to take that comfortable path and realize that they're not that they don't know how to maintain a relationship, or they have less experience with the opposite sex. So I think that is the second biggest mistake. And the third biggest mistake is not adopting with time. The coronavirus came, the pandemic came, and people were just stuck at their homes. So not a lot of people shifted to online dating. So dating, I think a lot of it comes down to adaptability. You have to adopt current times.
Wow, that's deep. Usually we give these answers to our clients when they're launching their stuff and then marketing campaigns and stuff. But yeah, it beautifully aligns as well. One biggest takeaway for me from what you shared, your perspective on this was, that as they say, the success is born out of comfort zones. So people try to do things as per their convenience, and then they expect everything the way they want. And I think it also fits in when you talk about dating. And I never thought of it, but now it's making sense. So thank you for sharing that with us. So any tips on how can they avoid doing this? Like just do the opposite of it, or any specific fix for this?
I mean, see, a lot of people, just try doing the opposite of it. They fail so many times that they want to eventually end up quitting.
Yeah.
Do it in a well-informed way, I would say. Like instead of just going out and start doing approaches, check out some YouTube videos, right? Get some information. Before creating an online dating profile, just don't create an online dating profile by yourself. Check out some videos on
Mm,
you'll get a much better result by hiring a professional photographer, even if it's for like 5-10,000 bucks. You're
yeah.
gonna get a lot better results. The hit and trial is gonna end.
Yeah. Nice one. What about you, Roman? What's your take on it?
I mean, see, I'm married, bro. So I don't remember much about dating, but I actually have a question, a follow-up question for Arunav. So Arunav, bro, I want to ask you, like, see, dating mistakes, I absolutely agree with everything that you said. But I feel that, there's also a lot of imposter syndrome in, how, a young male who wants to date, but his perception of his self-image, impacts his confidence. So for people who have that sense of like, I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not something enough, like, what do you have to say about, those people who are probably watching this?
I think people believe that okay, I'm not good enough you know for that girl, or I'm not good enough to get into a relationship. I think a lot of it comes down to just going out and taking action, like taking the starting steps, so that you can get a positive reference experience, which is positive experience with the opposite sex that can actually break down that belief. So the first step is just to push yourself, and there's no magic pill to it, right? To push yourself to take certain actions, which is whether doing an approach or going on an online date, right? Setting up an online date and following the right process so that you actually do get a positive response.
Got it. So basically, like, see, when you mentioned in one of the three mistakes is that men are not really adaptive, they're not adapting to, the relevant, modalities of finding a partner. So one way of kind of doing it would probably be the swipe culture, swipe, swipe, swipe. So if someone is not is not attractive enough, prima facie on the surface, probably is not going to get matches.
Yeah.
So
So a lot
is
of it comes down to presentability also, like
okay.
certain things you can change, like certain basic things, I would say, like grooming, fashion
Yeah.
sense, right? You can change and you can easily become more presentable. See, dating is not only about looks. I understand the online dating space can seem like it because you just have to put your pictures over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot also in online dating comes down to a lot of good looking guys will not get enough matches as an average looking guy would if his
Yeah.
profile is well planned, right? So this is one tip that we give is plan the profile not according to how you want to present yourself, but according to your story, according to the kind of girls you want to attract, the age group of the girls, the kind of relationship you're looking for. And if you put like a deep thought in it, your profile is automatically going to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, I also like. I feel that there's a lot of things that you can change about yourself that you don't like if you take charge. Like, for example, if you don't like the physical appearance that you have at this point, you can change it. Like, if you are, for example, if you're, you're bulky, then join a gym, lose weight. Like, if you want to gain some muscles, join a gym, build muscles. Like, there are a lot of things you can change, and I think it roots from, as you mentioned, Romit. I've been a victim of. I think we all have been
Yeah.
of imposter syndrome. And
Yeah.
I think it roots from not what will they say, but what if we do this and then we fail, and then what will they say? Right? What will people make like think of us if they see us do something and then we fail? And that's what actually kind of blocks us and stops us from moving ahead. And it aligns in like it fits in perfectly in when it comes to dating or relationships at the same time, whether it's
Yeah.
friendship or whether it's anything.
Absolutely. I also feel one more thing, like for those who are going to be watching this, is that good looking, the girls who most guys feel are out of their league.
Hmm.
Those girls, in the beginning they get attracted to the good looking guys, but then those good looking guys are most likely to be toxic and
Yeah.
create like negative experiences for these girls. And then these girls realize that, hey, I don't want a good looking guy anymore. I want someone who's a well-rounded personality.
Yeah.
So that's what matters at the end of the day, is your personality and how you project it. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. Never judge a book by its cover, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
Right. All right. So next up. So, okay. So good start, great start, dating. Woohoo. Now I know that. Now let's get going. And I want to get into the marketing side of things. And I'm going to put a question in front of Romit first. And then Arunav and I can share some our perspectives around it. We can jam on it. So the question that I have here is, there's a lot of competition, right, in the online space, whether it's you want to build a coaching business, irrespective of low ticket or high ticket, whether you want to build a coaching, consulting, whatever kind of business, e-commerce, there's a lot of competition. So in the competitive landscape of marketing agencies, like the way you are an agency, how do you maintain a unique perspective and then stand out from the crowd, helping your clients do the same? So how do you go about helping people with it?
Yeah, so I think number one is that competition is always going to be there. It only goes to show that there is demand, there is opportunity. So in a market where there was no competition, there probably would be no business either. So competition is good. Most people believe that competition is a bad thing. So let's just address that at the root level. It's a great thing. The more the competition, the more the opportunity, the more the potential. Now, how does one stand out? It's really important. Now, as a marketing agency, it's really important to kind of understand what is it that you want to focus on? What is the problem that you want to solve? Right? Because in marketing, there are so many problems that can be solved. Marketing is like this huge tree under which there are multiple sub branches. You can solve someone's social media marketing issues with organic. You can solve someone's Facebook marketing issues. You could solve someone's funnel issues. You could solve someone's offer creation, issues. So from how do you really position yourself is about really understanding how well you understand your ideal client. Because there are different categories of clients. Like in the beginning, when we started at High Ticket Society, we would focus on any and every coach who wanted to basically sign premium clients, who didn't want to do live webinars, they didn't want to do low ticket. But then we realized over a period of time that there's a very different mindset with someone who's just starting out and someone who has experience and who is established, who has made a few mistakes.
That's
They've
true.
made some wrong investments.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And they have the people who have that sense of understanding. They've gone through a certain learning curve. They've, invested here and there, but didn't get the results. They have more clarity and a more high level of maturity in terms of valuing what you have to offer in comparison to someone who's just starting out. For example, in my case, we don't work with people who are just starting out anymore because they don't know what they don't know. And if they don't know what they don't know, they're never going to value what you have to offer. Like you're going to use words like funnels and Facebook ads and they will be like,
and
yeah,
AOV
okay.
and LTV and stuff.
On a surface level, you'd be like, okay, I'm just going to you're going to do everything and I'm going to make money. Like it doesn't work that way, So for me, I honestly believe, number one, this is like the thumb rule. Whether you're a coach, you're a consultant, whether there are 1,000 people in your same niche, people don't buy what you have to offer. They buy you first.
That's true.
They buy your energy. They buy your personality. They buy, like how you project your value based on your own personal values.
Correct. And that's why there's space for everybody out there. I mean,
exactly.
People, look at us. Like people will probably perceive us to be like competitors, but we don't give a damn about it. Like whatever.
I don't care about competition. The only competition I have complete concern of is the competition with myself. How can I be better tomorrow? So it's like looking into the mirror and be like, okay, what is that 1% more I can do today? Right. And I believe that you need to focus instead more of, marketing. You need to focus on creating a world-class experience for your customers. And that is something that I realized over a period of time, like, because in the beginning I was, how we are like aggressive with marketing. We need more clients. We need more clients. We need more clients. We want money, money, money. But then at the end of it, you realize that you have to focus on just creating a world-class experience. Because think about it. Alex Hormozi says this. He says, act as if the one client you're working with is the only access to getting more clients. Like you cannot run ads. You cannot post content. Your one client that you're working with is going to become your spokesperson based on the results they get. And your entire business is going to be based on that one person's, results. So how would you act in a situation like that? What kind of experience would you give that one client to ensure that they go and tell everyone else that, hey, like you should work with, Romit, or you should work with, Rohan Sapra, or you should go and check out Arunav's the bro thing because
Hmm.
he's so fucking good at what he does. So it's all about really understanding that being unique doesn't mean just niching down. Like anyone
Yeah.
can niche down. Anyone. Tomorrow, a 19-year-old kid can come up and say, like, hey, I'll help you get high ticket clients without doing
Yeah.
webinars, without doing workshops. I run a marketing agency.
Oh, it's happening already. Like
It's
everybody's
already
saying.
happening. It's becoming a machi
Yeah.
bazaar, you know. But the idea is that, see, there's a level of number one is who you are as a person,
Yeah.
because your vibe will attract your tribe. As cliche as it sounds, it's true on a very fundamental level.
It is.
And you have to, at all, I mean, you have to just take care of yourself. Number one,
Mm.
protect your mindset. Don't fall for anything. Stand for something that you believe in. So, and whenever you're starting a business or you're running a business, you need to have like some kind of core values that your potential client will resonate with. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing. They will resonate with you first and then resonate with what you have to offer.
Mm.
Right.
So like I also feel that there is a very strong need of education. Like people should get educate themselves about how social media is influencing their decision making, and I think it roots from that perspective or that mindset. And the reason why I say that is because the other day, I'll give you an example. The other day we have this, so we live in a society, it's in this gated society. We have this amazing couple, a power couple, and they started a new business, and they made, like, it's called whatever XYZ. And they're like, oh, this is a food delivery business, and we're gonna have like the Delhi ka khana, the typical, the best, and the street food, like Delhi,
Yeah.
nothing can beat Delhi when it comes to street food. And I'm like, okay, let's bring it on. I'm in Gurgaon, so I'm like, yeah, I want it. Come on, I
Yeah.
need access to it, and you guys stay here. So yeah, I'm waiting for the launch. And yesterday itself, they launched, and they sent us some, like, as a courtesy, dal
Yeah.
makhani and some couple of other
Right.
stuff. So the marketing angle of it, the packaging of it was like top notch. It was
Got it.
extremely attractive. But the moment I took my first bite,
Mhm.
I was like, this is not Delhi. This is not even like Gurgaon. Like, come on, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? So people focus a lot on packaging
Yeah.
initially because they want to develop the likability in people's minds for their product or service, because they want to get accepted. They want to be accepted. They want people to accept them. So I feel it roots from the culture of social media, that's what social media is doing to you, or to people who consume social media, because then they're judging like stuff based on vanity metrics. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like, if kitne likes and comments pe sochte hain ki baat kare, isse nahi kare. Like, that's the mindset people carry. So yeah, that's just my
I think
follow-up.
social media is like a knife.
Yeah.
Right. You put social media, I mean, you put a knife in the hands of someone who wants to kill someone, and you put a knife in the hands of a doctor.
Mm.
Right. There's nothing wrong with the knife.
Yeah.
It's who uses it and how they use it. So social media is that knife where there are two ways to look at it, right? One, you're producing, and one, you're consuming content, right? Social media.
Mm.
So either you're producing or you're consuming. Most people are consumers, and very
Yeah.
few people focus on just producing content. Then you have the biggest thing that you said with respect to this power couple. They created this business, they invested money, but the product was so bad.
Mm.
Because it stems around the idea of like, okay, this is like a startup culture, or
Mm.
it's been projected as easy to start a business.
Yeah.
I just need to focus on marketing. I need to focus on branding. Rest, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So the
Make it
reason
look
why
cool.
most
Yeah.
businesses fail, and
Yeah.
this is not just
Yeah.
in the coaching and consulting industry, but just all kinds of businesses, is because like people don't really take into consideration the product itself. Like you will see, I'm sure, like in Bombay, I see it often, but in Delhi, in Gurgaon, you'll see so many franchisee owners come. Like they start this business and they're just starting it for the sake of making money, right? But nobody really looks at the quality of the product,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's why if you've noticed the restaurants and cafes that are family owned, who've been around for 10, 15, 20 years, like, why do people go running to them? Because the quality of the food is so good. So similarly, as a coach, as a consultant, as a service provider, you have to focus on how can you deliver that world-class product. Because like I was watching this video just yesterday, and this guy says that most people think you need funding to start a business. And people believe that, oh, when I have funding, then I will start the business. But that's the wrong way of looking at it. You can start a business when you have one customer. It starts with one customer. So similarly, like both of you guys, you started with that one client who said, yes, I want to give you the money.
I
And
remember the
that
name
was
too.
like,
Who remembers the name here of the first client?
I remember it.
yeah, I do. I do.
I remember Jabjot Kang. In case you're watching, listening to it, thank you. Right, you are the first client, first transaction ever happened.
And that's when your business really starts, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think, but also just to add, social media is, bro, like so misleading.
yeah, it is.
It's built up. I'm sure Aruna would agree with this. Like,
Yeah.
see, when you look at all these people on Instagram, first of all, it's so superficial. There's so much fakeness, with respect to even like beauty, with like
Yeah,
in the
it is.
dating niche, especially. So it builds this unrealistic expectation and this unrealistic benchmark, of
Yeah.
what like an ideal girl would probably be like for a guy. Instead of actually being raw and real with themselves and authentic, like, oh wow, look at Instagram. All these pretty girls are there, and all these. I don't know, man. I don't know if you can probably like add some more light to how
I
social
mean,
media
what
is impacting dating.
Yeah, I mean, rather than just talking about dating, I want people to see also that, we joke and we do random stuff, but at the same time, Arunav is also an entrepreneur and also a marketer, therefore. So I also want people to see that side of him. And I would also want Arunav, you to definitely, answer Romit's question, but also if you can somewhat make it congruent to what we are talking about. Say, again, I'll repeat the question just in case you've forgotten. It is like, how do you maintain a unique perspective and stand out from the crowd? Let's say as a business.
So I think for us in the dating niche, how we do it is basically by showing people, like there's a lot of dating coaches, right? But not a lot of dating coaches show like footage of breaking their own interactions down, how they're doing it, going out in the field. So that is, what separates us from the masses. Then the dating coaches who are selling like extremely low ticket products, which are not really going to get any results like ebooks. And I mean, they might get a little bit of a result, but it's not, a complete transformation. So that is what we aim at. It's like a complete transformation. We also do life coaching, which, a person who's, of course, who's into, ebooks and all, might not do it because of the experience, right? And I was watching this video as well, and it just clicked with me that, and this goes back to, what Romit was talking about, that social media is like, it's just content, right? You need to create bulk content and you get the following and it just starts growing, right? And the top coaches, I think, will not have a lot of content because they're more focused on the coaching aspect of it. So, that is one thing, that I felt, which when I was getting like really good client results and some case studies, which I don't think any dating coach has, like a 50-year-old guy in a tier 3 city in India, getting results, talking to 13 women who has no experience with women before in his life, right? At that time, I was not creating a lot of content. Like I didn't have like a team, not a complete team to create the content, to push out like Instagram reels. I was not that much into that. I was more into the coaching segment and how to get better results for the clients. What are the feedbacks of the clients? How can we improve the product? So
it was to position. So just to summarize this, so according to you, it's the positioning, unique positioning. Positioning is like solving a problem like no one else does.
yeah,
Basically knowing what problem you're solving, why are you solving it, who are you solving it for, and how are you solving it. Like it's so simple as that. And I think the biggest lie people have been told is that riches are in the niches. I don't think so.
I think just to add, bro, like with what Arunav is saying in terms of how he stood out, is just focusing on the results.
Yeah.
And then put like, see, it's like the fastest way to get to stand out is to show your target audience what you've already done with someone who's similar to that target audience. Instead of saying that, hey, I will help you do this, you're like, hey, look at who I've already helped and I can help you too because I've already done it. That's why like testimonials are so powerful, like especially when it's like transformative, you know. So I think that's what Arunav was saying in terms of like, you know, the content part came later.
One more thing is the process we make the clients go through is sort of different. It's a little different in terms of we aim for everything. Like depending on the client objectives, the process is pretty much customized, but there's a framework to it. And I think that framework also sort of makes us stand out. We aim at, you know, making them approach, making them more confident socially, as well as using online dating apps, depending on the objective and depending on the things we create a dating strategy.
So,
I think
like, because we are talking about like, you know, dating, because we have Arunav on this podcast today, and because we advertise on Meta, and you know, that's exactly what we do. We help people. We are an advertising consulting firm, so I know for a fact that dating is a high risk niche, right? A lot of it, the needle moved towards black hat stuff that people do in dating niche. And which brings me to the next question that I want to put in front of Arunav this time, and then Romit, you can chime in. And that is about in this, you know, what are the common marketing or advertising pitfalls businesses make when they're advertising on social media platforms like Facebook, like, you know, any other platform, Instagram? Any tips you want to give that you think that these are the pitfalls that I see people make, and this is why you should not make them, instead do this?
Once again, Arunav, have you run ads on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
No, I've seen his ads.
Okay, I've not.
Dude, no, we met, like the first time we met, he was like, oh, I do this. And I was like, what? This happens in India? He's like, yeah, go search me up on YouTube. And he did that. Ever since then, I see his ads. So
I'm running retargeting ads.
Of course. Like मेरे पूरे feed पे भी dating ads हैं, because there's another client of ours also in this similar niche. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad my wife is a business partner. So I don't have to justify why such kind of ads on my news feed. Yeah. Okay. Over to you, Arunav. Yeah.
So see, if I look at it from a dating perspective, there are different guidelines for dating in terms of, you know, running Facebook ads. You have to just target single people and everything. There's a lot of guidelines. We have had many accounts banned in the past. That is a big problem we have dealt with in terms of Facebook, not YouTube that much. Just a second, I think. Blur. Yeah. So in the dating niche, I've not seen a lot of people running ads. Apart from me, I've seen just one more person running ads. And I think the ads the other person was running, it is working for him, so I cannot comment on it. But I think, you know, it's not like how we're doing the high ticket sales, like towards the video sales letter, towards the VSL, and then booking a call. I don't think a lot of people are doing it in the dating niche.
So anything you can share about these mistakes according to you that you made?
Are just running ads to their YouTube videos, right, to grow the YouTube. So I think you know, a lot of people are more focused on the likes, comments, the views they're getting in terms of the video, but not actually the clients they're getting through that. So that is what people get lost in, you know, when they get in dating coaching. It's like, okay, I'm just going to create like a YouTube video reel which should get like 1,000 likes, instead of focusing on the marketing systems and the sales systems of getting clients, acquiring clients.
What about you, Romit? Like any pitfalls you see people make in their ads specifically, and you're like, don't do this. This is like not that good, and do something.
I mean, see, I can go on and on this, but I'm gonna try to brief it up because I've been running ads for 4 years now, and I've been running ads for 4 years using the same ad account.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about really understanding that, yeah, you got to be compliant with Facebook and all. But if you really want to look at how to improve, like what not to do, I would probably say that number one is that where is your ad taking your audience to? Like just running an ad is just one aspect of it. But what is the back? Arunav said, like, what is the marketing process? What is the sales process behind that?
Yeah.
Because there are so many different like offers you can make. You can offer a live webinar, a low ticket product, a VSL, which is a recorded video. Like, so depending on where you want to send them to, like, because I personally believe, for example, like people use those lead forms in Facebook. I think they don't, and then they wonder why they're not getting quality leads, because it just doesn't, you don't get quality leads from the lead form built in Facebook. Number two, when you're running ads, you don't want to just sell the click, because everyone is selling the click. Everyone is like, hey, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired? Hi, I'm so and so. I used to be sick and tired, but no, I'm no longer sick and tired. If you don't want to be sick and tired anymore, click here. You see, it's just a clickbaity ad. But instead, you want to kind of just, you want to lead with value, because value doesn't happen in the webinar or the low ticket workshop or whatever. It happens in the front. Like your ad is a micro VSL of its own.
It is.
So you have to understand, bro, like my ad is 14 minutes, 14-minute ad that has generated more than 1 crore. 14-minute ad. And people are like, oh no, who's going to go through 14 minutes? Who's going to go through 5 minutes? But no, it like, I believe in like breaking the, the norms, like, thinking out of the box. I want to challenge the situation. So the thing that people should stop doing when they're running ads is, number one, if you have no knowledge, don't run ads. Number one, like, don't just try to run ads and think it's like it's easy. It's a maze, right? If you get lost in this maze, you will only burn money. A lot of people burn money. And the funniest part is that they'll come to me and say, I burnt money in Facebook ads. Okay, like what happened? How much did you spend? I spent 2,000 rupees. Didn't work.
Tell me about it.
I'm like, whoa, was that your life savings? Like, so yeah, I think number one is, what you mentioned earlier is education.
Yeah.
Just get the right education. Facebook ads is not some, like, it's not, neither is it rocket science, but you have to give it the same amount of understanding and learning. The second thing is that make sure that your ads are not clickbaity, like not just selling something, give value. The third thing is that obviously, lead in form, like the built-in forms that Facebook has is not really great for coaching and consulting. You want to have a strong back-end, offer. And see, I have nothing against live webinars and like everything works, right? But it depends on what your goal is. According to your goal, you have to reverse engineer the right marketing funnel, the right sales process for yourself. And I personally believe that, just to add one thing that I personally believe is that, see, how do you measure the success of a business? Profit, correct? How do you measure the success of coaches or coaching? Transformation.
Transformations, results.
How do you get transformation? When someone invests premium in their transformation. If someone pays Arunav 500 rupees and says, transform me, will that guy be committed to the process? Absolutely not. But if someone pays Arunav 5 lakh rupees, is he going to get the transformation? Most likely. I would say 99%, right? Because nothing is perfect, but still. So how do you get someone to pay you a premium? Can you do it in a live webinar? Absolutely not. Can you do it in a low ticket workshop format? Absolutely not. You have to get them on a call. So what is the fastest way to get them on a call? Is to make them watch a recorded video that is 24/7 evergreen. So you see how I just reverse engineered because of the goal. If your goal is transformation, which is the measure of success for coaches, then the point is to get them on a one-to-one call so that they can close a high ticket premium. Basically, it's not about high ticket isn't just about like charging more. It's about just getting someone to align with your value and the transformative power of your solution.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, just to add some, some perspective on this, because that's precisely what we also do, being an advertising consulting firm. What I feel is that, as they say, the marketing that you do, the effort that you put in your marketing is not just to attract people, but also to repel those that you don't want to serve. So,
exactly.
So being extremely cautious about what kind of content you are presenting in your ads, what
Absolutely.
you're saying, the way you are saying it, but also like everything, the font style. Like I guess it's like you have to really be a nerd to understand this, and it all roots from. See, if I have to precisely say, advertising is it's entirely human psychology. It's entirely that. I think,
Everything. Yeah.
yeah, hitting a button is like anybody can go out there and watch a free YouTube video and learn. So, people who sell this secret targeting hacks, I don't think anything of this sort of really works
No.
in the long run, at least. And I think it all roots from, what market you're serving in. Like one thing that I've observed from I want to just give this away to people, if you're, by the way, if you're liking this, enjoying, getting some value, like, share, subscribe, do, the drill, so that the algorithm pushes this in front of more people, like-minded people, and we can spread the message across and make marketing better. That's what my intention is. So coming back to what I was saying, I think it also roots from the more I see a niche crowded and competitive, the easier it becomes for you to stand out. And the reason why I say that is because the more it's competitive, the more these flashy marketeers are going to come, in the market space. But the more a niche is crowded, that means the more there are matured buyers in that particular niche, which means they've burnt their hands in the past, which also means that they know they have a better perspective of, stuff, different things.
Yeah.
And they know who's right, who's not right,
Correct.
who's probably a scam, or, who's like, who can really help them get what they want to get or achieve what they want to achieve. So, and that's where simplicity comes in. So if everybody is going fancy, like, go the opposite. It's so easy. Like, if everybody is making fancy ads, just make simple user generated kind of ads. It's that easy. Like the other day, I launched a video on YouTube and also a podcast about UGC, user generated content ads. And one of our clients is crushing it. He's in a low ticket funnel. That's his personal choice, but we are more like advertising, a firm. And he's killing it. And the ads are like, dude, there's no production cost at all. These are the easiest ads to shoot. And they are killing it. And the reason is because he's in this finance niche and it's extremely competitive. And because it's extremely competitive, and he was like, will we be able to hit this target? And I'm like, oh, day in, day out, like, watch us do it. And it's so simple. I'm like, just do this, and we'll take care of the rest. And it's like, and that's the easiest thing for me, honestly. So the message for the audience here is keep your marketing simple, but at the same time, also presentable. Like, don't be, what do I say?
Yeah, like, don't. I mean, see, I love everything you just said, because it just kind of goes to show that how important it is to not try to be like everyone else and do what everyone else is doing. That's called conformity, where you're just like, oh, let me do this. And that's why which is a topic we can explore later on as well, where you're seeing that everyone is trying to ride the high ticket wave. Everyone is using the words high ticket clients because they're trying to do what everyone else is doing, because they feel it's a trend.
Dude, the irony is, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the irony is, like, they're selling a workshop ticket of like for 100 rupees, telling you like,
I mean, and see, like you mentioned, the mature people who have burned their fingers, they can tell like black and white, like who's right, who's not. But one thing that you also said that I wanted to touch upon was that, like, what is the one thing that is a major pitfall when you're running ads is thinking about what you feel is right and not considering what your audience is thinking and feeling. Like, not spending enough time in understanding who your audience is a major pitfall, because that allows you to craft a message. And when you're crafting a message, it has to land with your potential audience. Like, they should feel like this person is speaking what I'm thinking.
Exactly. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about, like how much you need to really emphasize on the importance of having a top-notch product. Because you can only have that world-class product if you know your audience that well. You cannot have the product if you don't know your audience. If you're just copy pasting stuff, people can tell. It's like pretty evident.
It's like you should have your KYC. So know
what
your
about
customer.
you, man? Like, Arunav, like, come on, like, we are marketing nerds, so we want to like look at your perspective on this as well.
I think a lot of people, just consider, and this was me also in the past, consider ads like a slot machine, like put this much money in and you get that much money out.
Yeah.
But all the marketing and sales, and if you're not aware about that, I think it's just a waste of money.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
is.
It's like there are so many moving parts and so many variables that most people don't take into account all of them. They like, okay, focus on one thing.
Yeah.
But then there is like this whole orchestra that you have to conduct. And if you're just focusing on one instrument and ignoring the other instruments and having expectations that this is a slot machine, cha-ching, 10x return,
Yeah.
it's such a, I mean, it's such a delusion.
Oh yeah. I mean, the one of the reasons why I transitioned over like from a low ticket to a high ticket, this is precisely one of the reasons, because this is the the negative aspect of being in a low ticket funnel, and that is that anybody can come in, and anybody with money and credit card can swipe in and be a part of what you're doing. There's no filtration process as such. You can't control. If they have money, they'll get in. And for people like for like us, as much as I know you guys as well, like we are extremely customer obsessed people. Like that's one of the pillars that we stand by. And being client obsessed, and then the clients who are coming in who are like make money using your laptop and your mobile phone and internet connection, I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm like, and I still remember that day I was talking to my wife and I was so frustrated. I was like, dude, I had these dark circles. I looked bad. I'm like, I'm making money, but I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can
I
completely.
remember that moment. Like I cannot tell you. And I'm like, I need to shut everything down because this is not the reason why I wanted to do business. The reason why I wanted to do business was so that I'm doing something that I truly enjoy. It's not about money, but truly I enjoy doing. I am proud of. I want to do it like 12 hours a day without breaking a sweat.
Yeah,
Like that's what I want to do. And
exactly.
marketing plays a significant role in it. Like marketing decides the kind of people you'll attract.
Exactly.
Funnels, business models, funnels, part of marketing, right? Marketing campaigns and stuff. Amazing. The next question is like, uh, nice one. Like I like it. The question. Thanks to ChatGPT for this question. So it is. How do you believe? Oh, this is sick. How do you believe the principles of effective communication apply both in dating and marketing strategies? Aruna, over to you.
I mean, the first thing is clear communication, right? If your communication is not clear, your message is not going to get across clearly, right? Whether
In
it's
dating or marketing.
in dating or marketing. And the second part is what you're communicating. I think that comes down to what Romit was saying about understanding who you're talking to, whether it's your
Yeah.
customer or whether it's a date. So I think these two things covered pretty
I
much.
like how precise Aruna is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stop. This is like one shot.
No,
kya bolu?
and see, less is more,
Yeah, true.
right? Like that's what I believe in terms
Yeah.
of that's exactly what you covered. Like that is a spectrum of everything, is just how clear your communication is and what you're communicating, you know? And as far as like business and marketing is concerned, communication plays such a vital role because number one, if you don't know how to communicate your value, then how are people going to kind of resonate with you?
Yeah.
Communication is like is not just in terms of like marketing, but just how you kind of conduct yourself, right? And I honestly believe like this stems a lot from your upbringing, your schooling,
It does.
how you sound, like your
Mm.
personality, and your fluency in a certain language, like how you kind of conduct yourself with the level of confidence, your tonality. So communication is not just about saying the right words, it's about how you say it, why you're saying it, who you're saying it to. Like it's a complete combination of many things. And in business, I think communication is just like the foundation. It
Mm.
is like, see, if it's communication just conveys confidence and conviction, right? I mean, because if you don't believe in what in the transformation you can deliver, if you don't at a very deep core believe that you just don't believe in what you're saying, then no matter the words that come out, you will not be able to communicate that value or that
Yeah.
kind of energy. So communication is such a crucial part of business, of life, man. Like, from communicating to your partner with respect to taking decisions, to communicating to a potential client in terms of how you can help them resolve their problems together,
Yeah.
to communicating in your marketing, which is a recorded format of communication, for people to kind of see you for who you are. And it all comes down to communication. Everything, marketing, sales. Without communication, there is no marketing and there is no sales. That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, also to add on to it, because it's like well said, both of you, and I completely agree with that 100%. And I also want to add on to this and would want to emphasize on the importance of not just focusing on the how when you are getting started, for example, per se, but more focusing on the what. Like, and this I'll tell you where this perspective is coming from. This perspective is coming from my beginning days, my starting days. So when I got into like digital marketing journey, it was in 2016, and I did this certification program from a digital marketing institute, and technically I'm Google and Facebook certified marketeer, if that makes any difference. Right. So
Amazing.
I'm I'm coming from there, and from that angle, there's these people who were teaching stuff on how you package things, it's all about the how. So this got instilled in me during my initial days, that it's all about the packaging. So when it comes to communication, I started to focus more on the how you speak, like just sound energetic, just look good, just
Yeah.
have great lighting and
Like
stuff,
the dal makhni.
like the dal makhni, 100%. Right. So, and I was like, and later on, when things did not work the way I wanted them to work, I started to realize that it's not about the how, it's about the what. Once you figure out the what, is when you work on your how, and then you combine it together, is how you'll be able to communicate effectively to your audience. Um, and your relationship, like your spouse as well at the same time, or your partner, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend. So yeah, nice. I like that. So what about like sticking to the marketing part of it? Like when it comes to, how do you perceive the impact of storytelling in marketing and building relationships?
Ooh.
So I want you guys to jam on this, and Arunav, I want your like one-liners, because they're killers.
If you have
So
more than one-liners, please
All right.
expand
expand.
on. Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to building some certain sense of relatability so that, the person who's viewing it or listening in on it can relate himself or can relate you to his position. Like you've been
Mhm.
through that position and can understand that, okay, this guy has been through that position, I should probably listen to him. So storytelling does play a huge part in terms of communication, communicating to your clients, whether it's through a video or an advertisement or a VSL, whatever you want to communicate through. So that's
And
what I
is it the same, like, because you have your expertise in dating and you help men with that? Uh, is it the same with when you want to date someone? Like, is it the same?
pretty much, man, pretty much. It's like a frame you're presenting, right?
Yeah. So
Uh,
so talk about that. Like, I want you to share like some experience.
Yeah, but I
Any
still feel that it should be more authentic, whatever you're
yeah.
communicating, be more authentic. It should not be all made up. Because if it's all made up, people get to figure like how you were talking about it. Like if you're not getting good results for your clients, you'll not be able to communicate that with that much confidence, right? And the other person is going to figure it out because it's going to come off as incongruent. It's not going to
Mm,
be congruent. So I think same thing, and the imposter syndrome. Like if a person is trying to be someone who's not and try to communicate that, he might have a casual encounter with someone, but will not be able to transform it into a long-term relationship or deeper relationship because it's inauthentic, right? So I think
mm.
it comes down to authenticity. Of course, in terms of marketing, you might amplify a few stories. That's what I think. We might amplify a few stories, but getting a fake private jet, and renting it out. And I was watching this reel on
There
Instagram.
you go.
There's this company which is renting out fake private jets for influencers. Maybe it was
Wow.
like a comedy reel. I don't know. All that is, I'm sure all of that is happening, man.
Specific target audience,
uh
influencers who want to fake it.
yeah. I want to thank those people. Like, come on, keep doing this, because you're maturing the market,
Yeah.
and eventually they'll figure it out. So good, keep it up. Like, that's
A
what
lot
I
of
want to
people
tell them.
in my industry also do it. So there was this guy, I'm not going to name him, but one of the top coaches, right? And one client who's taken a program with him comes to me, and he's in India, and he's like, okay, I want to take a program in India as well. So he takes a program with me, and we're just recording and documenting the whole program. And
Hmm.
he's like, man, why are you documenting the whole program? I'm like, what are you saying, right? He's like, I took the program from this guy. He calls a bunch of people, and he's like, okay, just act and pretend. And he records that by pretending, and that's on YouTube, right? And I was like, fuck, that's
Well,
the easy way out.
that's the behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yeah, but since I've done it for like 7 years, I'm not gonna, ruin the whole credibility based on one program. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
document that. And yeah, I think a lot of people try to fake it till they make it, and they don't even make it, but they keep on faking it.
Yeah,
And
I think that's a long time back. I don't remember when. I think a couple of years back, maybe I made a post on this on social media, and I said that I think, according to me, "Fake it till you make it" was quoted by a failure who could never make it, because
wow.
you cannot fake it and you cannot then make it. It
Yeah.
just can't happen. Like,
It's incongruent.
yeah, I mean, what's your perspective on it, this, Romit?
Oh,
Storytelling.
honestly, I just feel that, see, like, especially in India, like, why does Bollywood run? Is
Yeah.
because of stories. Like, everything, stories, like, it's not storytelling, it's story selling in
Mm.
marketing, especially.
Oh, I like that.
And I think that people just, like, I absolutely agree with everything Arunav said. Like, as it has to be authentic, but even if it's not authentic, the story will still, like, you can kind of make your audience feel, like, instead of saying that, oh, here are the features and benefits of my coaching
Mhm.
program, you're saying something like, you know, um, can you imagine like a time in your life where you don't have to worry about like who you're gonna date, or like the amount of time you spend on these dating apps, and you have
Yeah.
someone who is the ideal partner for you? Can you imagine what life would be like? Like, that's a story you're building in that person's head, right? It builds an emotional connect. And that is what good marketing does. It creates, it strikes an emotional chord in your ideal audience's mind. Like, oh, like they feel your ad. They're not just reading your ad, they're not just seeing your ad, they're feeling your ad. And that can only happen through stories, even, and not just in ads. You can use stories like anywhere.
Yeah.
Even if you're on a sales call, you can use a story. Now, the thing is that a story has to be genuine, it has to be authentic. A story can be a story about how a previous client worked with you and how they transformed their before and after. That's a story right there. A story can be in terms of visualizing what the person's future would look like working with you, right? So it's all about really understanding the power of storytelling and then using it in your marketing and sales, because it's like, you know um when we learn, right, when we're reading something in a book or watching a video, I mean, you guys can agree or disagree with me, but I personally feel that whenever there's an analogy used, like an example of like,
You
uh
tend to retain
yeah,
that
you
for a
connect
longer time.
more.
And you retain that, what you're
Yeah,
like.
you retain that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of an example right now, but someone will be like, oh, like, um for example, as a coach, do you want to create impact? Imagine yourself being that lighthouse, guiding
Mm.
people down the path of greatness. You can be that lighthouse. Like, so it's like playing with people, not playing is the wrong word. I mean, it's about just encouraging people to
Visualization of
feel.
imagine, making them imagine.
Yeah, like, creating sparking the imagination and putting them in a situation of what it would look like if they took action, right? In marketing, that's what we want people to do, is take action. So you want to paint that image based on authenticity, based on genuineness, based on true intention to help someone. Um, and speaking about fake it till you make it, um, so I love the fact that you said that the person who said it was a failure.
Yeah.
I can't get over the fact I don't know said that you fake it till you make it, but if you don't make it, you keep faking it.
Yeah, that was.
So I
Yeah.
think a lot of people believe this because they've been taught this.
Hmm.
Like, I was in network marketing when I was 21. Great opportunity because it instilled entrepreneurial, qualities. But that's where I heard, you have to fake it till you make it. And see, the thing is that we're all conditioned to have certain beliefs based on what we've been
Mm.
told to believe in, right? Until we realize that, oh, that is not right, you know? So obviously, as I grew up and I matured and I had a different worldview of life and business and marketing and all of that, I realized that no, just be fucking real, be authentic. If
Mm.
you've worked with two clients, tell someone you worked with two clients. Don't amplify it and say I've worked with 20 clients.
Yeah, because somebody told you got to make a big bold promise. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So the point is that like I think stories are very powerful, but Rohan, I want to know what's your perspective.
On storytelling.
Yeah.
So my perspective on storytelling is how much you can do it effectively, and the way you do it effectively is by how much can you like. Storytelling is like in marketing is like creating your own vision board, but doing it in someone's mind. And how well can you do it? They can literally see and feel scene by scene what you're seeing, what you're saying in your marketing communication, and how can then they connect with you based on
Yeah.
what you're sharing. So, and this is the reason why I always say that, see what moves you, human beings. So let's, everything is great, but let's stick to the fundamentals and the foundation. The human psychology talks about why would people make a decision.
Mhm.
Decision making happens out of emotions. Screw logics. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's
Logic
all
comes
emotion.
later.
Logic comes later. It's all emotion. Stories ignite that emotion that you want someone to, utilize when it comes to making them or asking them to take a decision for your product or your service or buy something from you or opting in for that matter. So storytelling is an extremely integral part of making someone take a decision. And if you're not able to do it effectively, then I don't think you can sustain for long.
Yeah. I mean, like
And
if you look at the sorry to cut you, but if you look at like these luxury car ads,
yeah,
BMW, Jaguar, like Lamborghini, they're all telling a story,
yeah, they are.
right? They're not
That's
saying that, we have this much horsepower or this much. They're just saying that like I don't know which car is
and
this
I'll tell you,
exactly.
like, I'll tell
Yeah.
you, this is so true because how when your competitors are trying to make your product or something similar to your product or your service a commodity, trying to win at the price level, who are decreasing the price and trying to be the cheapest available option in the marketplace. Being in such a market, how would you be able to go out there and still sell at a higher price and instead increase your price the moment you see the competition rising? How would you sustain that? That can only happen when you do effective storytelling,
Yeah.
because that's the only way you can do it. Like, I think the only way to sustain this is like having a vision. That's why we have visions and we have a mission statement inside our, like, even for our company. And we are like, we want to make India the number one source of Facebook Meta ads marketeers who are exceptionally amazing at what they do. And believe me, there's hardly, what we talk about is the tool. We hardly do it. We talk about advertising more coming from the high intent and low intent and average intent, and then market sophistication levels and Eugene Schwartz, the
Yeah.
stages of awareness and all of that. And at all and every to move that needle, you have to incorporate storytelling.
Yeah.
And I feel Arunav would also agree, like, and he pretty much said that, which is like in a relationship as well, you can only build that bond the more you come across how open you are as a person, right? Like how much vulnerable you are, how much non-sugar coating you are as a person. And that's these are the kind of people that you would want to hang out with more. Like, look at your friends, and this is the best thing I ask people, like, look at your
Yeah.
friends and tell me why that one friend is your best friend. Why? Because that person is sharing everything with you with full transparency, without holding anything back. That's pretty much what storytelling is. You don't hold anything back. Just say it. Let it come from your heart. Be authentic. Be real. Like the way I just even that was a story, the dal makhni thing.
Yeah.
And because it came out naturally, it was not scripted because it literally happened last night. And I just, I just shared. So storytelling is more like sharing an experience per se. And the more experiences you have in life, the better your storytelling will become eventually.
Exactly. I remember watching this video of this public speaking coach.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but he said that, he spoke about the importance of stories because people love stories, right? When you're sitting in a group, it's a bonfire. There's always that one person who's talking, but he's not just talking. He's talking about an experience that happened,
Yeah.
and everyone is glued into that he's engaged in that dialogue. So I think similarly with storytelling is just an opportunity for you to be vulnerable is one part of it, not the entire part of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this particular public speaking coach was saying that, you know, he had 4 people around him and he said, okay, I want you to tell me a story right now. And the guy was blank. And then this coach was like, see, it didn't come to you naturally. Like, how do you become a better storyteller is if you actually work on documenting the experiences that you have on your phone, right? So that the next time you're in a group setup, for example, you have your stories in place, right? So that is a great way to kind of practice storytelling in person. Online, in marketing, in sales, in what we do as business owners, storytelling requires you to be authentic. You should be vulnerable. If your story is about yourself, if you're showcasing an experience that you had with a client, then you want to make sure that it's projected transparently, honestly, with integrity. But I think stories again is like that same knife. Depends on how people use it. They can amplify it into a whole new, blow it out of proportion and be like Ferrari type.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, like let's jam on that, like, and we'll wrap up this particular episode. So I want you guys to come on. Let's talk about these. Like, what's the difference between, and how could someone spot a difference between a fake story and a genuine story? How would you go about doing that?
We did a test recently on our YouTube channel. I was just posting 2 testimonials, right? One testimonial was sort of a documentary where we documented each and every step that the client took, how he got the result, and the other testimonial is also a documentary, but we have not added the videos. We have just added the testimonial over there. We made a documentary, but we did not edit it in terms of a documentary. We just put the final product out just to see which kind of testimonials get more views, get pushed more, and of course, which kind of testimonial people are able to relate with more. And you can all see all of that through the analytics, right? The view time.
Yeah.
And what I realized is, and of course, this was supposed to happen. The documentary, which had like 5 times more average watch time than the testimonial, and 5 times more views as well. So I think if you can document each and every step of the way of the client, how you're helping the client, and maybe
Yeah.
even your journey, right? If you keep on documenting it,
Yeah.
you can just add in bits and pieces of that as B-rolls or whatever.
True.
And
True.
Yeah.
True.
I think that's a major takeaway from Arunav is like, how do you present your case studies? As you showcase the documentary of how it happened before and after. That's a
Yeah.
story in itself. I think one big mistake that I'm making, because there's so many things you have to do in your business, right? And so many things that don't get the focus they deserve. And it's on your back burner that, oh, I need to focus on this. So one thing is like testimonials, for example. There are written testimonials and then there are video testimonials. But I think storytelling is your ability in how you present the story of that testimonial. Like, where were they before? What happened afterwards? And when you do that, I think that would definitely, like you said, have a better engagement, better response
Yeah.
compared to just showcasing a screenshot.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe even just a video, like those 2 were videos. So even just a video, I think a documentary, but again, it takes a lot of effort. Like
Exactly.
you have to actually document each and every
Yeah,
step.
exactly.
That takes some sort of effort. But yeah, what I generally do is I'm documenting each and every session. It's getting recorded, each and everything that the client is doing. If there's live coaching, that's getting documented. So by the end of the day, we have time to just segregate things and
Yeah.
think and plan it
So
out.
what, but what if like, so these, that pretty much is like the same thing. Storytelling is more like sharing an experience, right?
Yes.
So you have an experience working with a client in XYZ domain or niche, and you help this client go from point A to point B, and you're sharing that experience as a story, right?
Yeah.
What if you're just getting started and you do not have any powerful or needle mover kind of stories? How would you go about hitting those emotional chords? Because that's what a story is supposed to do. So how can you borrow it? Like, and then Ramit, why don't you answer that? Like, how do you differentiate between and draw the line between a borrowed story, because you have no choice, because let's assume that you're getting started, so you have no choice. Maybe you're not great story to share about your life or from your life. So how would you borrow a story, and what would be the difference between borrowing and faking?
Oh, I mean, see, borrowing a story is like, for example, if I'm starting out and if I want to basically position myself as, I can help you achieve, I can help X achieve Y, whatever it
Mm,
is, right?
mm,
And I'm just starting out and I've decided, okay, this is my target audience. This is what I'm going to offer, regardless of the price. Now, in my marketing, right, that people are going to see, instead of me saying that I have done this, which would be faking it, or saying that I have 100,000 clients, which I'm super faking, borrowed stories are basically say that this is the exact system that Tony Robbins uses to get clients, right? This is the
mm.
exact system that, like this known person has uses to get clients. And I can show you, or I can help you do the same, right? So that is the difference, is when it's not like you're
Attribute it
saying,
back, like say it out. Who are you
yeah,
borrowing
you're
it
not
from,
you're not
basically?
saying like directly, like don't say directly that, oh, I have not helped anyone.
Mm,
No, you don't want to, but
of
you
course.
get the point, right? Like, but at the same time, you don't want to say like, oh, I've helped 100,000 people, or I've helped 5 people or 6 people. If you've not helped someone, you've not helped someone. Think
Yeah.
about borrowed stories are basically where you share other people's experiences. You leverage.
Yeah, and I think the way to bridge this is like to add on to what exactly you said, is like you can start the story, the first initial, how you commence with that story is by starting sharing with people exactly what got you started and what you're doing. What happened? What was that eureka moment? What was that moment that ignited that spark in you and you wanted to do it and you want to solve that problem? And then if you don't have that experience or any story to share, just go out there and just tell people that here's how you curated all of this, and here's how much you had to go through to learn this, to find this out, to figure it out, and now eventually you've done it. And that itself, now this itself is a story.
Yeah.
So and you are, because you're attributing it back and you're just being honest, I think it will connect with people beautifully. You don't really have to try hard. I think one thing that people don't realize is that the more you try hard to narrate some catchy stories, the fake they sound.
Yeah,
I think it has to come effortlessly. And the way it will come effortlessly is when it is authentic. So,
exactly. And like this is when 99% of the people who book a call with me, and I ask them, why did you book a call with me specifically?
mm,
That's what they say. They said that because your ad was authentic.
yeah,
There was
that's what.
no fakeness. There was no nothing. It was authentic. And like
Yeah.
you mentioned in the beginning, that in a sea of so much people trying to do, like trying really hard, people being fake, like that just contributes to our
So
like
how, like, like if we have to highlight an example, are you somewhat referring to making a marketing collateral wherein you're traveling and you are in Dubai, and then you are shooting an ad where you're saying that you're in Dubai, and then you're also driving a Ferrari in another ad, and then you're saying that you're driving a Ferrari. Do you think so? Let's assume that all of that is real,
Yeah.
but how would, what's the, like, why would we not like it as much, or some people will like it? Like, what's the,
I think when people use Ferraris and they use this flashy stuff, I think you're attracting that kind of an audience who is wants that kind of stuff, which is basically like people who are interested in just purely making money. They're not interested in the process, they're interested in the outcome.
so true?
And when you're presenting that outcome, then you're going to attract the wrong kind of audience who are not really going to take much action.
My new ad is like one of my new ads. You guys probably will see it.
Okay,
Is
awesome.
is about me showing my Hyundai i10, and
Awesome.
I'm literally saying it in the ad that I
Yeah.
do not drive a Ferrari, but I do own a Honda and a Hyundai though. So if that makes a difference to you, but here's what I have done for my people and here's what I have achieved. If this is enough for you, let's work together. That's it. Like
Amazing.
if I feel like if I have to showcase my Ferraris and Gucci's and Rolexes to make people pay me money, then I don't even want to do that work.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that, like, as much as what you believe in, as much as what Arunav believes in, like, this is this flashiness is being peddled in
Yeah.
mass levels.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and people fall for it. Like whether it's network marketing, whether it is some kind of like, you know, earn 6 figures in like 6 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And when the most important thing is like when you're marketing the flashiness, if your ad revolves around the object that people desire rather than the effort and the hard work that they have to put in,
Hmm.
you know, it's like you're telling people that, hey, do you want a Ferrari like this? Then come click here, come do this. Instead of saying that, hey, do you want to like solve problems in business? Like, do you want to actually build a business that can solve problems that you will feel good about? And as a result, you may be able to have a Ferrari, but that doesn't necessarily mean you. It can be that you can achieve the lifestyle you feel you desire, but you have to put in the work. So that all boils down to messaging. And like you rightly said, you know, Rohan, in terms of presentability, you know,
Hmm.
I mean, see, like you using your Hyundai i10, it's a great hook. It's like saying, I don't own a Ferrari, but this is what I own. You know, that serves the purpose of a hook and differentiation and basically just kind of like out of the box thinking. But when you're just using flashy objects as a way to get people to take action, dude, that is a major red flag. Major red flag. You
Yeah.
know, there has to be authenticity to it.
Now, I cannot sustain such marketing stuff, collateral. Generally speaking, like I don't think I would ever develop that. Like, what do you say? Develop that acceptance towards marketing like this. I don't think I ever would because I'm not that as a person myself. So I
That's right.
can't be. I can't be
Everyone
like
is
that.
different.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different approach to how they want to
Yeah.
run their business, how they want to be known,
Yeah. But at
right?
least
There's so many.
we are able to like we have the opportunity to put this message across. And I'm so delighted with this fact that you guys are here and we share similar perspectives. And I want all of you guys who are watching, listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, I want you to see that how success leaves clues. And as Tony Robbins say, that you just have to observe the patterns. That's all that you have to do. Like if you observe patterns and then you utilize the patterns that you've observed instead of trying to create new patterns, you are halfway there, my friend. Like that's all that you got to do. Observe patterns, pick those people up that you truly connect with and just observe their patterns, even if it's a person traveling in Dubai or driving a Ferrari. If that's who you get attracted towards, then probably you want to do the same thing, right? So observe the patterns and then also utilize the patterns. So yeah, I don't know, my dear friend, anything you want to say on this, or should we wrap up?
I think we should wrap up. I think that's pretty much it, man. That's that's the new wave that is happening. You know, like people are just going into Ferraris, renting out stuff.
What, like in dating also, is that how
Yeah,
people
in dating also, I think all of it started from Ty Lopez back in the day. You know, from his
Yeah.
yeah,
or
Lambo in the garage.
Lambo and the girls.
and the girls as well. So then it took over the dating niche as well. I mean, a lot of dating coaches also, had a similar sort of marketing. Now it's a little less. Now it's a little less, I would say, in the dating
uh,
niche specifically, but in the money making niche or in the business consulting niche, I think it's a lot. I open my YouTube and there's some people going in a jet, in a BMW. I mean, yeah, that's all I see actually. That's all the ads I see on YouTube.
shit. Shit, yeah. Like I'm serious. Let's make marketing better, guys. Like, come on, let's do it together because
See,
it's not one can do it. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I think, see, just to round up, is that if there's one word to kind of round up why people do this, is because they're all these marketers who are doing it this way, they're all selling one thing, and that's
Mm.
hope.
Yeah.
That's it. And it works because people are in situations where they are like infatuated by that imaginary lifestyle, that with this kind of marketing, these people are never going to achieve that. Like, because, it's being wrongfully told
Yeah,
to
and
them that
products also, you're pretty right on it, because the products also they'll be selling is like a double nine, 99 rupees a workshop or triple
exactly.
workshop, so it's more of broad selling rather than
Yeah.
just, helping actually a client get results.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to you knowing your exact ideal avatar.
Yeah.
The core foundation of building a business, your marketing campaigns and collateral. It's all knowing your exact, precise ideal avatar and talking to that one person, and that's it. Like, it's so easy, right? Like, it's so easy, but it's so difficult to do and make people understand the importance of this. Like, it's
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, I focus is such a critical part. You need to focus on what you're doing, rather than what, everyone else is doing, because there's no cap on what everyone else is doing. That's like, even the sky is not the ceiling. Just
yeah,
focus on you, do you, be the best you can, offer the best you can, create a world-class experience. Be authentic in your marketing, stories or no stories, and just make sure that you focus on your business. And every once in a while, just take the blinder off and just see what's happening around you, learn, come back, adapt, improvise, and then just keep streamlining your business, even percent, like a time, like over a period of time. And that's it. I think that's it. There is a lot of people like they overestimate like what they can achieve in 3 months and underestimate what they can achieve in a year.
yeah.
So there's a lot of, because of these false hope, false marketing, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations that's creating a lot of like disappointment.
Correct.
People are like, why
Correct.
am I not getting results in 3 months? I was promised 20 lakhs in 3 months.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah. I mean, like
So it's, I don't get it. Like, see, you
fake
don't,
expectations. Like, you're setting wrong expectations in people's minds.
yeah. I mean, I think that I don't think you should build a business so that you can have freedom. I think that's
Yeah.
the wrong way of looking at it. I think
There
building
is
a
no
business,
freedom in business. Like, I'll tell you what is
Yeah,
freedom
that's
in
true,
business.
man.
Freedom is freedom of choice,
exactly,
freedom of doing the business,
doing
working on
what
your
you love,
business 15 hours a day and still not
crying
feeling
about
like
it.
as crying about it. Correct.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
freedom.
That's freedom.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I mean, yeah. So again, false marketing,
Yeah,
false
I got
hope.
sucked into it, man. When I was becoming a dating coach, I was in the restaurant industry before this. I had a
Right.
restaurant and a bar. And I was like, okay, it's going to be a lot better, even if I earn half the amount of money, but I'm more free, I have more time. And I got into this and I realized it's the same shit. It's like, it's a lot of effort. It's not like 4 hour work week or
No,
Yeah.
no.
open your laptop one day, give 4 hours of coaching and you're done with it. It's not like that at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. And I think like you got to be very thoughtful of your marketing, messaging, because more than it'll give you like make you money, it'll spoil your reputation and goodwill. And a goodwill spoiled once is gone forever. Right? Like, you can't. It's not an easy thing to get that goodwill back then.
Exactly.
So, and I realize it. I'm thankful that I realized it in an early stage, though after doing like 1 year in revenue. But the reason why I say that early stage is because I always undertalk and over deliver every single time. And but then I realize I'm doing it not not to my ideal clients. I want to work with different people. And because of the business model that I was following, I realized I'm not able to get in front of those people. So that's a lesson from there. But anyway, all right. So guys, let's wrap up. And I want Arunav, you to please tell people about where can they find you. Maybe just say out your Instagram handle and also what you do. And in case they're interested, then they'll contact you.
So anyone who's interested can just go to YouTube / The Bro Thing. Check out our YouTube channel if you want dating tips. And apart from that, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's thebrothing.official. And you can also check out thebrothing.com if you'd like to reach out to us or, want our help with your dating life.
Awesome. Superstar. What about you, Romit?
Really simple. Just go to highticketsociety.com and there's a free training over there, which is specifically designed for coaches to show them how they can attract, inspire, and convert premium clients with or without our help. And on Instagram, it's Romit Jetfani. So I'm there as well, very active on Instagram. And yeah, thank you so much, bro, for having us on this very raw and real, like spontaneous conversation. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what you're doing. It takes a lot of effort to put together a podcast. It takes a lot of time investment. But the fact that you're doing it because there's a bigger purpose to it, I respect you for that. And yeah, I hope people enjoy this episode specifically.
Well, people will. Not today, maybe. Tomorrow they will, right? As the market gets sophisticated, we'll be the one who they like listening to. And I know that for a fact. So I always stay
Yes,
one
sir.
step ahead. So thank you once again, guys, for being here. Let's make marketing better for people. Once again, if you like this podcast and you want these amazing people to answer your questions, if you have some questions, then probably throw them in the comments. Also, like, share, subscribe, share it with a friend, comment. What are your biggest takeaways? Anything that will help the algorithm know that you like this content and it pushes it in front of more like-minded people. Thank you once again. This is Rohan Sapra signing off from What's Your Perspective. I'm going to see you inside the next episode. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Peace.